Hey everyone, you're listening to another episode of the AER podcast. My name's Jason and I'm your host. In this episode, we've got Jeff Kidd from Pennington Associates. We've been working real close with him for about 4 or 5 years now. He's in the compressed air business, and he kind of walks us through his time in the compressed air industry and how he made it from Kaiser Compressors all the way to Pennington Associates. Strap in on this one because Jeff's a little bit of a character. He's a really, really funny guy, and he likes to tell jokes. If you like what you hear, please hit the subscribe button on SoundCloud. Like I said, we're gonna keep doing these once a month. If you want to be on the podcast, go to aerpod.com and fill out the form, and I'll respond to you. Or you can give us a call at 210-223-3157 and ask for Jason, and I'd be more than happy to talk to you about this, being on the podcast. Before we get started, I just need to tell you about air-equipment.com. We carry a ton of parts and equipment from manufacturers like Graco, Binks, DeVilbiss, Klimco, Bullard, pretty much anything in the finishing industry. We've been a distributor for all these brands over 43 years now. And if you shop online and use promo code AERPOD at checkout, that's AERPOD at checkout, you'll save 10% off your first online order. So, use the promo code AERPOD. That's only for podcast listeners. So that's an exclusive promo for people listening to this podcast. Keep in mind that all online orders over $50 have free shipping anywhere in the continental U.S. So you're getting 10% off with AER Pod promo code. And then you're also, if you spend over $50, you're going to get free shipping. So it's a great deal. That's air-equipment.com, and the promo code is AER Pod. And now here's the next episode of the AER podcast with Jeff Kidd from Pennington Associates. Hey everyone, welcome back to the AER podcast. My name's Jason. I'm here with Jeff Kidd from Pennington Associates. Hey Jeff, how's it going?
I'm doing okay. I think the cat got into my grape nuts this morning. I didn't realize it and realized those weren't raisins in my grape nuts. So, but other than that, we're okay.
Oh, we're going to start off hot, Jeff, aren't we?
Well, yeah, whatever it takes.
Strap in, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be an interesting one. Anyway, so you're with Pennington Associates, but you guys cover a couple of other, what am I trying to say? A couple other brands, right? Like Schultz. Do you just cover Schultz, or do you cover?
Well, Pennington represents probably a dozen different premier companies in the compressed air business. And several of our companies are made in USA products, which we're very proud of. But Schultz is made in Brazil, and it's a wonderful quality product at a value. So we're really pleased with our product lines.
That's good. And you are territory manager, sales manager?
Yeah. Basically, I cover 5 states for Pennington. We cover 13 states in the southeast United States. So I don't travel anymore. I just don't travel any less. But, yeah, you can call me a territory manager, but I look at it as I drive around and meet with my business friends and just enjoy the company with them.
Do podcasts. And
this is my only podcast I've done.
Your first one.
First one.
You're doing good. So what's your background? How did you get into this industry? Uh-oh.
Well, I think we talked about that once, but actually...
Keep it clean, though, Jeff.
Oh, okay. Actually, I graduated from a university, and it was way back, and their mascot was the Fighting Blue Hen. So there's not many people that know about that, and I don't tell many people, because who wants to be a Fighting Blue Hen?
Oh.
Anyway, so I think where it got me motivated, I had a professor in psychology. We took a test, and he said, well, this test result shows you're going to be average in life. And I took that as a challenge, and I've proved him wrong, and I've been below average all my life. So. But I've always been in the manufacturing side of business, starting out in production inventory control for several years. Moved into customer service, management, and inside sales for manufacturers. And eventually ended up in the compressed air world 14 years ago.
Oh. And that was when you got into the compressed air. Was that with Pennington Associates, or where did you first start out at?
Well, I started out with Kaiser Compressors in Dallas.
Okay.
With them for 3 years, and the Quincy distributor for 3 years. And then a salesman from Pennington called on me when I was there at Quincy. And he was a good friend, and he eventually hired me for the territory position. And he's a great mentor and has since passed away. But so I've been with Pennington closing in on 8 years now.
8 years. Nice. Okay. And what kind of, well, we touched on that, but you guys carry, Pennington themselves carries like aerofiltration and what is Pennington themselves? You know, they don't just rep Schultz and Great Lakes, but what does Pennington themselves carry?
Okay. Pennington has a warehouse in Clearwater, Florida, and also Schultz warehouses in Atlanta, Georgia, and Great Lakes warehouses in Dallas, Texas. So between those points of distribution, you know, we try our best to serve our customers effectively. But Pennington, they warehouse the aero products. They have a substantial inventory of aero and all of the accessories, gauges, anything related to compressed air, automatic timer drains, and condensate management products, you name it, safety relief valves, you name it, they pretty much have it in stock, right, if it's related to compressed air. Now, I'm based out of Texas here, and I cover Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arkansas, and Mississippi, Memphis, and Wichita for Pennington. But I have my home office out here, and occasionally travel to Clearwater to let people know I'm still alive.
Yeah, right. Okay. So I kind of want to talk about Schultz compressors, because that's something in the dryers. That's something we get into a lot here, because the dryers are just, I mean, they're solid dryers, as you know, and we use them a lot here because San Antonio, the climate in South Texas is very hot and humid.
Really?
Yeah, right. So how did that partnership with Pennington and Schultz kind of come to be, or do you know, or was that before you got there?
I know. The national sales manager of Schultz, Schultz has always been a kind of a behind-the-scenes OEM manufacturer. They made pumps and compressors for Champion, Curtis, Mighty M, Sanborn, and a host of others, DeWalt, and John Deere, which they still do in Mexico for truck mount compressors. And Schultz is a global company. They're a billion-dollar organization based in Brazil, although they were German engineered, but they are based in Brazil. They have an integrated factory, including they smelt their own steel, they cast their own steel, and they have about 72 CNC machines to fabricate everything for their products. On their rotary compressors, they do use reputable air ends made by other companies such as Tamrotor. So all in all, their product is made by the same people from the ground up, and that's why it's such a good quality and a great value.
Okay. So you kind of touched on their facility down there in Brazil. Have you ever been? Because I've heard it's pretty phenomenal.
It is huge. No, I haven't had a chance to go there. I think my associate, Mark Nelson from
He was the one
Schultz,
telling me about it, yeah.
Yeah, I think he has an opportunity to travel down there. And of course, national sales manager has. So, yeah, Schultz has been a great product. We're stepping up to develop their own brand name now, and it's a crowded market out there. A lot of players, but Schultz is worthy of being a value product first of all, and then it's a quality product. So you can't beat it. And their air dryers are just unbreakable. They're very popular in the spray foam insulation trailer market. They're rugged. I've seen several installations of those, and they have a compact profile, and they are what am I trying to say? They have a high inlet temperature for their regular non-cycling dryers.
Right.
They will accept 140-degree inlet temperature.
That's the high temp?
No, that's
just the
regular
standard.
non-cycling.
Oh, wow.
So in the spray foam trailers, they just use a non-cycler, which is not a high temp dryer. It works effectively as a compact profile, which you have to have in the trailers, and I've never had a problem.
Yeah, we've sold quite a few, and one of the things I know my customers like is that you can set the drain on it, and first of all, you can set how frequently it drains, and then you can set the duration of the drain.
Right.
So that's a really big benefit that people enjoy, because I mean sometimes those filters in there fill up, and then the water moisture's just going right through.
Right.
So the fact that you can set, if it's like a real, today where it's real rainy and humid, you can set that thing to drain like every 30 minutes and for 30, 40 seconds every time it drains.
Right. It's like a built-in timer drain, and that's a very popular item in the compressed air market.
Yeah. So those come out of Italy still, or are they making them down in Brazil?
The dryers are made in Italy, and I tell you, I've in the many years I've been in business, I have been working working 50 years of my life. No, that can't be right. That means I started when I was 2 years old.
Oh.
Anyway.
Started young.
Yeah. So maybe that was wrong. But Italy is a really renowned manufacturer of a lot of products. I've dealt with a lot of products from Italy, and they do an excellent job. They're just a manufacturing, industrial-oriented country. So these dryers are bulletproof, and I have never had one problem with them.
So does Schultz has a facility in Italy that only builds the dryers, or do they do other manufacturing as well?
Just the dryers.
Just the dryers. Okay.
Yes.
So you go on the road a lot, right?
Yeah, probably 20 weeks out of the year, maybe a little more. I do.
What are some things you've seen out on the road? Maybe, I know you don't get to go to job sites often, but maybe have you seen any crazy equipment out there, or any requests for compressors for different, applications that are kind of out there?
I had a chance to go down to, I have a customer down in McAllen, Texas, and got a chance to go with a salesman to an installation where they packaged lettuce. And this lettuce is wet, and so they blow it off, and then they have packaging tools that run on pneumatic air. So we go into the facility, and we go to look at the compressor first, and it's up on a mezzanine. And the gentleman taking us up there said, don't step on that piece of plywood because there's a hole there. So after he said that, I was a little worried. We were just across the border. And so, yeah, indeed, the compressor had no aftercooler. The pipe was extremely hot, as I found out. And
Found out the hard way, or
yeah,
Yeah.
lessons, hard knock lessons.
yeah.
So we clambered down the mezzanine, and we go over to the one little filter they had, and it was blasting water out of it, stuck wide open.
Mm-hmm.
So needless to say, I could help them with a dryer, with a proper filtration, and then their guns weren't rusting up anymore, and everything worked fine. So, yeah, so that was fairly interesting. I had a technician once when I was in the compressor house world, and he was up in Oklahoma at a factory that made dog food.
Mm-hmm.
And so the foreman's taking him through the facility back to the compressed air room, and there's a chute, and there's dog biscuits sliding down the chute into a barrel. And the foreman picks one out, takes a bite of it, and he goes, they're still warm. And he turns around to Ronnie and says, go ahead, have one. And Ronnie goes, no, I think I'll pass on that.
Well, I mean, I guess you stand by your product.
Yeah.
That's one way to look at it. Be eating a biscuit off the line.
So, let's see, what else kind of amusing? Oklahoma. They have a warning sign along the highways when they have construction, and they tell you it's a $10,000 fine if you hit one of our workers. Well, if I hit one of their workers, that $10,000 is the least of my worries. So,
right.
I thought that was amusing. Yeah, but other than that,
guys jumping out in front to get $10,000.
I know the clap. Yeah.
Oh man. So what sets apart Pennington, Schultz, Great Lakes? What sets y'all apart from the competition? You know what I mean? I know we kind of touched on. I guess we kind of touched on that, why they're good, but you said it was a competitive market. Why should people buy a Schultz compressor versus another brand?
Okay. Well, first of all, we give Pennington, we're old school. We still run around and go try to see our customers as often as possible. Yeah, we do emails. I do texts, email, phone calls, you name it. I don't do social media, but other than that. So we're always in contact with our people, but we like to get face to face,
Mm-hmm.
And we develop friendships. And Pennington is a small organization. And you call into Pennington, you're going to talk to a person. You're not going to get a messaging system. You're not going to get a press for this or anything. You're going to talk to a live person.
Right.
And it's very refreshing. And these people know their business. They know our product lines. And they're very helpful. And I'm very proud of our inside people at Pennington. They do a great job. We probably have the best shipping manager in the world. He does a tremendous job with shipping.
Yeah.
So Schultz, I'm really proud to represent them. Like I said, they're a value product, and they're the same way. They're trying to build their business in the U.S., and they're concerned with every customer they have.
Mm-hmm.
And I did have one air dryer failure. Apparently it just had a control board issue, and it was dead on arrival. They immediately shipped a replacement for that, and took care of the other one. So, they're very interested in standing behind their products,
right,
and helping their customers.
I will say on both aspects. First of all, we see you probably 3-4 times a year, so that speaks volumes about
probably more than you like. But
yeah, if you had talked to Lee,
yeah.
Lee might be a little more honest than I am.
Yeah, I know.
And then also when you call Pennington, he's right. You do talk to an actual person. You don't have to sit on hold forever.
Exactly.
If they are busy, they'll take a message and they'll call you back, and
right.
pretty promptly. And then on the Schultz side of it, one thing I'd like to brag on them about is, especially being down here in South Texas, we have customers, a lot of them that don't speak any English. And it's pretty refreshing. I don't know if it's because of the ties with Brazil, but they have people over there in their service department that we can actually get on the phone with our customer, and they were, speaking Spanish directly to our customer instead of having to translate it through Paul here in the office. So that's kind of a benefit for us and our customers.
Yeah, that is a benefit. They do speak Portuguese there. There's a lot of folks that work there that originated in Brazil and came to the U.S. to help build the business here.
Yeah, but we've noticed that when we've had customers trying to get a compressor hooked up or they're having issues with it, we'll get them on speakerphone with someone over there in tech support, and they have a couple people that speak Spanish. I guess, I don't know if it's Portuguese and they know Spanish also or what, but I mean, it's been a benefit for us and our customers, because there's a lot of times when I think technical lingo kind of gets mistranslated when it's coming from a service tech to Paul here who speaks Spanish to our customer. A lot probably gets lost that way. It's nice to have them speak directly to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's one thing I'll brag about them.
Nice side benefit.
Yeah, right. What else, Jeff?
Well, I'd like to talk about our Aero pneumatic filtration line. I got a chance to go to the factory back in August, and well, that was a long time ago already. Anyway, time flies when you're
where's their factory at?
Factory is just outside of Chicago. And it was very interesting because they're a very hands-on manufacturing process. Every filter is touched and tested. And you have a real family-type organization. Everybody's been there for 15, 17, 20 years.
Oh, wow.
It's amazing. And you have union and non-union people working shoulder to shoulder, and they're all friends. So I'm really proud to represent them. That's why they have such a quality product. I have a customer in trying to think where they're located, Shreveport, I believe, and they buy a ton of aerofiltration from us. And they said, we love that product line because we never have any that come back to us.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a customer down in Weslaco, Texas, and they buy a lot of aerofiltration. And I get down there twice a year to see my friends down there. And they never have a defect for me to bring back on the aero side. I also sell them a couple thousand gauges a year. And our gauges, I only bring back 3 or 4. So, so I'm rather proud of what we can provide our customers.
Yeah. Well, we buy a lot of the moisture separators, the filters.
Absolutely.
And they're pretty robust, because sometimes you get those cheap ones with those little plastic bowls on them. And, if you're in a factory, all it takes is someone bump into that and it's messed up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, these got nice quality metal bowls. They have the sight with the ball that you can tell when it's starting to get full. Right. That's always nice.
Sight glass, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then you can also get them with an auto drain and a manual drain, right?
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, we haven't had any issues with them. Yeah. And I don't think we've even had one come back, except for maybe that someone bought the wrong thread size or something. That's just a swap out. It's not.
Well, I think one time somebody put a tightening strap on a filter and busted the sight glass.
That'll happen, yeah.
Yeah, so you have to have common sense.
Well, yeah.
And
that's not the product. That's just
yeah, I hear you.
But yeah, what else, Jeff? What do you got for us?
Well, boy, that's a tough question. I'm not sure you want to go there.
No. You came in so spry this morning.
Well,
I thought you were going to just be telling stories. Are you trying to keep it? You're trying to keep it civil.
Well, I am trying to, keep it above the table, and but we're proud of our products at Pennington. I'm proud of our company. They do a great job for a small organization, and I'm glad they put up with me. So
yeah, oh yeah. You know what? They deserve a gold medal just for that. For 8 years too.
Yes,
and counting.
Can you believe that?
Man.
Yeah, I know.
How long have you been calling on us? About 4 or 5 now?
It has to be.
Yeah. And we put up with you too. So
I
you're
know.
doing something right.
I brought you guys into the game, and now you're part of the web.
Now one thing I do have to throw out there, because we have someone here that's not too happy with you, Jeff.
Counts repayable? No.
No. It's our good buddy Doug. And he's kind of upset with you because you called him a Colonel Sanders.
Oh,
and I told him I'd make you apologize on here. Oh.
Well, you know what? I had somebody call me Colonel Sanders once.
Was that Lee?
Yeah, he goes, although you're a little younger, I said, well, I'll take that as a compliment. Yeah, if I'm younger, hey, that's good.
Man, yeah. I mean, I've been called worse things. You can be called way worse than Colonel Sanders, right?
Well, like what?
I can't say them, Jeff. I can't say them on here. But well,
yeah, that's about all I brought today.
That's his apology, Doug. We'll get. All right, I think we'll just wrap it up here because we're
running out of.
we're getting a little off base. But Jeff, where can they find you if they need you? Should they go through a distributor?
Best thing is call Pennington because yesterday I was in Waco and I was calling on a customer and I was talking to him and I had to ask him what city I was in. So if I don't know what city I'm in, then how are people going to find me?
Right. Yeah.
So best call in straight to Pennington. They will direct them to me. But I'm always...
Do you know their number or...
Yes, 727-535-3200. And my direct number is 727-641-1598. And I'm 24/7. You can call me 24 hours a day, text me, email me. But it may be 7 hours before I get back to you because I do sleep.
There you go. All right. That's Jeff Kidd with Pennington Associates on the AER podcast. Thanks, Jeff. We will see you guys next time.
Thank you so much.
This highway's sure been good to me. White lines as far as you can see. There's a girl from down around Potee